In this Clash of Clans video, we are going to showcase to you the brand new practice mode and every single level that there is. From the lower levels all of the way up through the town halls, you will see the rewards and the strategies. Some of these are very advanced and will teach you some of the most powerful strategies in the game, so you're not going to want to miss any of it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, let's dive straight into this. With the new Clash of Clans update, we have a brand new attack screen, and as part of that, a brand new game mode, the practice. Now this is going to be pre-built armies. You don't need to cook up any troops. They are all there on the screen, and we will move down as it teaches you each and every one of these strategies. The very first one being the giant smash. I used to love some of these strategies when I was a new player myself. If you're new to the channel, guys, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because you might not get notified when my videos go live if you are not part of the notification squad. So we're going to move through every single one of these tutorials, the first one being the giant smash. So putting a giant in first here to distract the defenses, followed by 2 wall breakers to bust that open, and now we are going to send in the rest of the giants. Now guys, with this new practice mode, again, you don't have to cook any troops. They are all here selected perfectly for the base. After the mortar is destroyed, deploy goblins in order to help clean up. Now I am a big fan of the practice mode, and as we move through the strategies here, I've played most of them. You will get to see when we move down to Townhall 10, Townhall 11 and 12 that the levels become very advanced actually, and will teach you some fantastic techniques. But what I want you guys to do is let me know down in the comments what strategy at the end of the video you guys think is missing and what you would like to see. Now throughout any of the levels, if there is anything else that you think they should have changed, that, remember, I have access to the Supercell team, and if there's any good suggestions down there, if you leave a like on other people's comments, I will be able to see that because they will be at the top of the comments. I can then pass that information through. Now again, getting back to this one, the giant smash, I personally used to use the giant healer strategy when I was a lower level player. I'd send them giants in alongside the healers behind, as long as I got that air defense down pretty quickly. Be sure to share with me down in the comments your favorite attack strategy from when you started the game. Now the practice mode is exactly that. It is for you to practice your skills, and it is to hopefully teach people new strategies. So when you first unlock a brand new troop or a new spell, as you move up the levels, you don't really get any teaching on it. Only the people that would come to YouTube like you guys, and I am much appreciative of your support, especially the notification squad. Make yourself known down in the comments. We'll get back to this in a second, but when you've got the 3 stars, you can basically exit the tutorial. You did perfectly. Would you like to practice without deployment steps? I'll show you this for the first one, but basically guys, you can then practice this however you want. You don't have to go through them steps, but if you forget and you want to know, all you need to do is press play tutorial and it will turn it back on. That is pretty awesome. But we've done the first one. Let's move across to the second practice level, which is Balloon Parade. And again, this video is all about showing you every single one of them. Your first priority is the air defense. Yes, it is, but also we need to be aware of that wizard tower, don't we? So it's getting us to put all 12 loons in at that area and then 10 from the other side. I do like this because it's teaching people how to not just blast all of your troops in. You have to come from different angles. I was just about to say I would like it in order to teach people to distract that wizard tower, but look, as all of the balloons come in, now it would be pretty nice if it taught us here about some cleanup troops, you guys will see that as we move through the levels, it does ramp up. It does continue to give us new and different things to think of, and that's quite good. Nobody is going to be able to learn everything straight away. Now, for most of you guys, you are probably well past this level. You don't need to know a lot of this beginner stuff. You might not even do the levels. However, you do get a little bit of loot from this as well. Similar to the goblin maps, this is a one-time thing. So once you have got the loot, you can go back and practice this however much you want. You don't have to cook up the troops. However, you only get the loot first time. So this one, again, some cleanup troops would have been nice, guys, wouldn't it? But we've got the balloons clearing up. And the one thing that I note here, again, let me know if you think this as well. There's no timer. This is similar to the goblin maps. Now, I wonder as we move through whether any of these will teach people about timing and efficiency of one stage to the next, following a kill squad, getting your next troops in very appropriately, because efficiency and time efficiency is something you need to focus on. Now, I'm going to cancel out of that, but we've got the 3 stars here. We can return home, and again, we don't need to play that one again. I would like it to take me back to the practice screen, but that's just me being very pernickety there. Let's move to Townhall 6 now with Meat Shield. Now, basically, this is going to teach you the giants, the wall breakers. Look at that, guys. Pretty awesome. And then the wizards behind. Again, I'd like to see the giant healer strategy. It was one of my favorites. That one is missing. So now 13 giants so that they can protect your wizards. Now, the tutorial doesn't let you place things outside of where it is telling you, because it's trying to give you the picture perfect way of doing this. Remember to heal to protect your giants around wizard towers. So just for example, guys, I will show you if I try to deploy a wizard anywhere it actually let me. But most of the time it hasn't been. Maybe that one was a glitch, or maybe it does let you. Sometimes all it will say is deploy in the correct area. I was wrong. Right. There you go, guys. Deploy in the correct location. So 5 wall breakers coming in. Maybe some of them you have to put in the correct area. Maybe some of them you don't. I don't know. But let's get the rest of the wizards in here to clean up. This one should be a relatively fast one because we have the wizards cleaning up. It wants us to put that heal spell right in the middle. But I have been playing all of these, and it's incredible how it teaches you the strategies, and it gets you the 3 stars. I have been practicing this beforehand, and I wasn't sure whether it would give you the 3 stars on every single one, or whether it would basically teach you most of it and then you had to figure out for yourself. But so far, I've always got the 3 stars. And as we move down to Town Hall 12, you will see that one of the bases, or the final base, is an island style base, one of them horrible ring style bases, and you crush it with the dragons. And when I say crush it, it goes down very convincingly. So the giants and wizards will finish up here. Again, it's quite nice to play some of the original levels here. Lots of wizards getting flung off, and that is it for that level. Let's swiftly move along to the next one. Again, let me know which is your favorite one here and what strategies you would like to see. Now, one thing I would like, we're on to Town Hall 7 already, where you get the dragons and the Hog Riders. So first, we have hot stuff, the dragons. Be aware of the air sweeper, it is telling us, and then it wants us to 3 lightning spell the air defense. Now, what I was going to say is what I would like to see is a internet base, common bases put on the game here, and maybe having tribe gaming or professional players that have qualified into the world championships, breaking them down, really making it specific. Deploy 1 more dragon to clear the corner of the base. This will help to funnel the rest of your army to the core. Now, I love that bit. I really like how it is showing you to think about not just the opening of your attack, because as the dragons come in here towards this first air defense, you want them to go straight to the second one. You don't want them caught on these down buildings at the bottom of the base, moving down and around. You want them straight to that air defense, and that is what that dragon on the other side of the base is. I hope that some of the instructions here are clear for people as well. Again, many of you guys that are watching this, maybe later on in the video, some of the higher level tutorials, you will get to see some things that you will enjoy and that you will learn from, but especially in these initial ones, I'd like to think that most of you watching YouTube videos already know this stuff. But think about the casual players. There are millions of players who will never go to YouTube in order to watch and improve. The tutorial mode is going to definitely elevate the skill level within the game, and think about the new layout sharing option. That is probably, I know it's just a quality of life change, but it's probably my favorite thing about this update. What I want you guys to do is drop down in the comments your top 3 things from this update, your 3 most favorite and your 3 least favorite. I will be interested in order to see that. Now the next one is the Hog Riders. Now this one is interesting, the Hog Rush, and I will tell you why in a second. Deploy the Barbarian King to deal with the enemy king, or he will wreck your Hog Riders. So in comes the king, and it's interesting that it gets us to deploy our 5 wizards here, our cleanup wizards, get them in with the king. It also wants us to deploy all 36 Hog Riders in this one area, but looking at the base, I would honestly deploy some of them here and some of them to the outside in order to take out them defenses and push the main ones into the core. So I am going to do that. I'm going to ignore the tutorial a little bit here just for fun, but for the most part we will be following it, guys. So you can see we are having to put the heal spell in, especially where the splash damage is, and we've got them 2 groups of Hog Riders on the outside to keep our main pack in the middle. I'd also like the tutorial in order to, it's not letting us use the remaining heal spells, but now it will use the remaining heal spells to keep Hog Riders alive whilst they clean up the base. I would love it to have a couple of cleanup wizards here in order to teach people that. And also, guys, we've cleaned this base. It would be pretty cool if it said right now, swag your remaining heal in order to celebrate. Bang, the heal spell on the Townhall, or commonly you will put it on the clan castle of your opponents. How cool would that be? Swag your remaining spells right at the end. But the Hog Riders, they are going to get this done. I don't know, maybe some people haven't thought about pairing all of the Hog Riders together, so it is good again that it teaches you how to use the Hog Riders. But we're swiftly moving through here. We've got one more for Town Hall 7 before we move to Town Hall 8. And if you are enjoying this, guys, be sure to leave a like. I really do appreciate it. It helps out the video massively. Now in terms of this one, Air Raid, we do have some minions to clean up. Again, it's telling us to approach from behind the sweeper. Interestingly here, it wants us to put all 15 loons from either side. 30 loons, 15 from either side. So in they go. Use a rage spell to make the balloons faster and deadlier. So that's a nice deployment of the rage, not much overlap. Deploy the Barbarian King to distract the Wizard Tower. I really like that it is teaching people that, but I wish it would tell you that it is to distract it from the balloons. It now wants all 25 minions in this area. Again, if I'm honest, I wouldn't do that myself. Let me know down in the comments. I would definitely have some minions at the bottom there for cleanup. Minions will make short work of their targets with the help of a rage. Again, I probably wouldn't be using a rage spell on minions. I would definitely be using it on the balloons in the center of the base. Going to have to press that king's ability as well. Thankfully, we are going to get this done and the minions are coming to the bottom, but I would have definitely liked to have seen on this one a couple of minions for cleanup around the base. Again, any feedback on these tutorials, let me know down below. This is just the start, guys. These are here for the update. There's 17. I am more than confident that Supercell will continue to add new levels, new strategies. I think it will be pretty cool. What about the World Championships? Tying it into that, I think it would be awesome. We were talking about base sharing before. By the way, guys, I am going to be sharing bases on my Discord, so join that. All of my social media platforms are linked down below, but I'm basically going to set up an area where you guys can share bases, I can share bases with you. It'll be cool and it will help our little community out. On to Townhall 8. I am excited about this one, the Peckers. What is it going to teach us about the Peckers? But as we move down, you will see that there are plenty of others. Bowling with bats, the Pecker Bow Bat. Definitely looking forward to that one. But let's move on to the Townhall 8 here. The Earthquake spell. Use that to weaken clustered defensive buildings and walls. I mean, I'd use it to take down defenses and weaken them, but I wouldn't necessarily use it to weaken walls if I wasn't going to then punch through it. I guess the Peckers will be, I guess. Creating the funnel either side with 2 Peckers. Use your Golem, it has a lot of health, in order to distract. 2 wall breakers to get into that area, and here we go. We're now putting the Barbarian King in the middle to clear. We've got that funnel very nicely made with the 2 Peckers either side and the Wizards. I like how it taught people that. Followed by the remaining Peckers coming in. Deploy more support wizards to help your Barbarian King and Peckers. So in we come with 9 wizards. Now they are coming straight into the center of the base. Use heal spell on the entrance as all your troops walk through it. Again, I like that. I like how it is teaching people here. Use rage spell on the entrance so that most troops will benefit from it. In we go, guys. I would like to see a couple of wall breakers here, just punching in that a little bit further, opening up this area to get our troops in the middle, because they are starting to walk. Keep your wizards alive by using heal spells on them. Might have been too late there, but I just about got it. And it looks like at this point, they are going to let us use the remaining troops to help clean up. Fantastic stuff. Notice how it's given us 2 archers there, clearly for each builder hut. Then we can just use the wizards as needed. I guess I'm going to just sprinkle them down the bottom here. One over there by the Pecker, and that is destruction of this base. Now, what I like about this one, heavy hitters, again, share with me what you think, but I do like how it gave us the option to use whatever we wanted at the end there. It taught us the bulk of the strategy, how to set up the funnel, how to get your troops into the middle, and then it said, okay, you go ahead and put the troops where you wish. And again, guys, you can do this as many times as you want. You only get the loot once, that is it. But after that, these troops do not cost you. However many times you come into this, you will get the troops again, and you will be able to practice it. So let's say when we get to Townhall 9, you will see the lava loon. That might be one, there it is there, that you want to practice over and over. World Power, the Valkyries coming in. This one should be interesting. 4 earthquake spells stacked on top of each other will open walls. Again, when people unlock the earthquake spell, I know for many of us it seems like common sense, and we read the description, but not everyone might know that 4 open walls. 1 Hog Rider to lure the clan castle troops. Again, a key fundamental skill. One of the first videos I ever put out, how to take out clan castle troops. And that video, guys, this is how long ago it was. OG Clashers, let me know. That was when you could lure the heroes. So you would activate the king, the queen, lure it to the side with the CC and take it out. A lot of the time before you would put your Hog Riders in, mass Hog Riders. Anyways, we digress. In comes the poison for the balloons. We now need a golem to distract the balloons. Interesting. You would think we wanted to keep the balloons in the poison, but 11 wizards to take all of them balloons out pretty quickly. Fantastic stuff. Now the wizards are in there behind the golem. We're putting the king in order to get into the base, and then the Valkyries. Look at this. Deploy Valkyries. They are very strong against bases where buildings are close together. Very much like this one. That is key information, but I like how it's getting us to put one Valkyrie over that side in order to naturally create the funnel for the Valkyries to go into the base. However, would have been nice if it told you why that Valkyrie was there as well. Use a heal spell as soon as we get into the base. In they come, but we've used all of the spells it has given us now, and that is one thing that you can't really change. Many people I've already, when I put out the sneak peek video for this, people were asking, can you change the army? You cannot. You only have the pre-built armies. So whatever Supercell has given us, that is what you have for that level. But clearly, if they are trying to teach you how to do the Lava Loon strategy, you will have sufficient troops and spells in order to learn that strategy, and you can try and make it more efficient as you move along. Look at all of the troops left over. That one was definitely very efficient. I don't know how many times you would come across a base quite like that, but at least it has taught people that Valkyries are good against then condensed bases, definitely. And again, as we move up to Townhall 12, you'll see that a lot of the bases are a little bit more realistic, but Townhall 8 completed. Again, you will unlock these as you move up through the game. So let's say, for example, I have just upgraded to Townhall 9. You will see the new icon next to these 3 tutorial levels, lava and loons, because you unlock the lava hound. So that is where it is going to teach you. I am interested in this one, guys. The enemy queen is a deadly opponent for your balloons. Deal with her first. Very interesting information. One of my deploy your barbarian king to tackle her once she jumps outside of the walls. What I was going to say is one of my subscribers mentioned on the previous video, the sneak peek, yeah, that's good information, but who would ever put their queen at the edge of the base like that? Interesting stuff. Interesting. Sometimes you do, if people are trying to bait you in. Deploy your one archer queen. Imagine if you had more than that. Deploy your archer queen to get rid of wizard tower, air defense, and archer tower. Very cool. So we've took out the queen with the king. Now we're doing a Sui hero technique here, and the queen can take out these buildings. So again, very good value initially to set up the lava loon, and it's awesome. I like that Supercell is trying to lift the bar, the skill cap, and what players can do. Archer Queen's ability is pressed. Again, you will have only just unlocked your Archer Queen, so it's kind of cool that people can play with that maxed level 30 Archer Queen and see the strength of it. Use a haste spell to speed up your attack. You need to reach the air sweeper quickly. So in we come with 2 haste spells, 2 lava hounds to shield your balloons and trigger traps within the base. So again, many people wouldn't know that stuff, and in we come with all of the balloons straight behind. Use the freeze spell to disable the sweeper while your troops approach. So in we come with the freeze, and then it wants us to use that rage as well. Very well taught, but I mean, it's difficult. With just a little tutorial like this, it is very hard to teach the lava loon technique. And I think that gives people a general idea. Use the remaining rage spell to clear the remaining air defenses and sweeper. So in we come. Use the haste to speed up the balloons. I would like it to say here, speed up the balloons to the wizard tower, the splash damage defenses, so that people know that that is what you need to do. It's not just a case of speeding up the balloons, it's speeding them up in a place whereby they need to get to the splash damage. But I think as a quick tutorial trying to show people the lava loon, that one was pretty good, I must admit. Let me know what you think, but we're swiftly going to move through. Townhall 10, 11 and 12 is where it really starts hitting up. We do have Queen Walks and Queen Charges in with this as well, and the Pekka Bobat, that very powerful attack strategy that we have right in the meta of CoC right now. We do get to see that a little bit later on. Lava and loons completed. Townhall 9, there are 2 other levels, I believe. And I hope Supercell continue to expand this. I hope they don't just leave the tutorial as it is. Angry babies. Now this one is the queen charge we were talking about. So deploy your 1 archer queen to start a queen walk with the healers. I kind of wish it would tell you there, only use 5 healers because the healing effect is decreased. I guess, again, too much information can be too overwhelming. Wait patiently until your Archer Queen destroys the bomb tower. So we're pushing into the base here. Notice that we will also get the enemy king, queen and clan castle troops. Doesn't look like there's any clan castle troops, but we'll also get that. Now, Supercell have done a good job here, in my opinion. Again, leave a like if you enjoy the tutorials and you're looking forward to it, because Supercell will have had to spend a lot of time actually planning these bases, planning the exact deployment of the troops, so that over and over again you get the 3 stars and learn the strategy. Deploy wall breakers to save time. I don't know if I'd deploy them to save time. I'd deploy them to open up. I guess it's saving time. You could allow your queen to punch through the walls. Normally, she does like to do that kind of thing. I wonder if it teaches you that. Your queen likes to hit a wall, so use wall breakers to save time. How funny is that? That is pretty hilarious. But actually, on that note, this is a pretty epic queen charge. Now, it's all good when there's no timer in the tutorial, in the goblin maps, but right now we would have to be thinking about deploying them other troops because time is ticking on. Use a poison spell to slow down enemy heroes and a rage to boost your archer queen and the healers. I like that it taught you and the healers. One other thing there, guys, not everyone knows that the poison spell is effective on heroes. People think it doesn't work. Now, whilst it doesn't really decrease their damage, or their health, should I say, it does slow them down. So I do like that it taught people there that the poison spell slows down the heroes. And if there was clan castle troops, you could use that in combination. Finally, we're bringing in the other troops. Deploy the barbarian king to clear the corner. So in he comes. Could have used 1 baby dragon for that, but never mind. We are pressing in. By now, we would definitely have to deploy them baby dragons. We've probably got 1 minute left in the attack. I don't know. You guys let me know. Rewind back and see how long it has been. But I think we've probably been charging this queen into the base for around about 2 minutes. So we've got 1 minute to clear 60%. Use the jump spell so the barbarian king can join the action. He can get into that area. Notice how we opened up it for the queen as well once she finally gets through this wall. But the baby dragons are assumably going to be used to sweep that other side of the base. The queen finally gets in there. She can start to help out. She can get into the core of the base. And did we use her ability? I think we did, didn't we? When we had the enemy queen shooting at us. Barbarian King's hit points are dropping. Activate his ability. So in that comes, he clears out that area. Most air defenses are destroyed. Time to deploy the baby dragons. All 14 here at the top of the base. Interesting. Use remaining rage spell and heal spell to complete the attack. Looks like we didn't use the queen's ability. And again, I do like that it gives you a little bit of flexibility. Doesn't quite tell you that you have to use the spell in this area. You can be a little bit flexible with it. And I think we will now use the rage spell to get the baby dragons through this area. Keeping an eye on that queen's ability as well. And let's use the heal spell here when the baby dragons are taking a bit of damage from the wizard tower, and that red air bomb went off there as well. And the queen's ability can be used down to this area, but we've got more than enough baby dragons to finish off the base. I think we would have just lost out on time. Would have been cool to use a poison spell on them, just to teach people that the poison can quickly protect your healers, but we are good. I'm actually going to save the queen's ability here, because this archer tower at the bottom could be a little bit troublesome, depending on what traps are left in the base. Maybe the baby dragons hit a red air bomb and the wizard tower, but it is all looking good. Let's press the ability, and we have a time fail. Just kidding, guys, it's going to let us, but it should probably teach people that you need to be efficient. I guess that's where you can come back in here, you can do the level again, and you can try and do it quicker. You can exit the tutorial, You still have the troops in order to just use them however you wish, so you don't quite have to deploy them where it tells you to, although you should have a good idea of how to take down the base based on the tutorial. What have we got now? The Witch Slap. As if people need to learn the Witch Slap at Townhall 9. It is OP. Seriously, the best strategy at Townhall 9. Deploy Wizard to clear army camp for the Archer Queen, setting up that Queen charge. Now deploy the Archer Queen. She will walk clockwise around the base thanks to the Wizard. That is cool. That is cool. That little bit extra explanation just explains why that is. Deploy the healers to support the queen. So prior to this one, I can't remember which level it was, but I was just saying that I didn't feel it gave enough information, whereas that right there, I think that was perfectly summarized so that people can get the gist of it. It wasn't too much information, but they know why that wizard was there. It wasn't just a wizard to clear out any old building, it was to walk the queen clockwise. I thought she was going to walk back over there, but actually once she's taken out this gold storage, she will indeed walk clockwise. Imagine that, if she went counterclockwise. That would be pretty funny. How long is this queen walk going to be? Let's find out. But the Witch Slap, again, if you're new to these styles of strategies though, if you're maybe a new Townhall 9, people have told you, hey, you want to upgrade your witches pretty quick, you upgrade them and you start practicing. This is actually a pretty realistic base. These symmetrical I mean, you don't see them that much in high level war, but in random spins, these are the type of bases that you will see actually. So I do like that it's showing you this. 4 stacked earthquakes, always destroy walls, use them to open up the base. There we go, all 4 of them directly open straight into the middle. This is not quite how I do the Witch Slap, but it is showing you the strategy. I always tend to take 2 jump spells, 1 rage, 1 heal, just press through the base. But I do like how it's teaching you it. Again, quite a long queen walk, but it's showing you it. The queen's gonna have to press that ability pretty soon unless she gets through. Archer Queen's hit points are dropping. Press the ability. Surely now we're going to put the king and cut off the funnel on this side for most of the witches to come in. We've got to be doing that pretty soon, Clash. Come on. Tell people to cut off the funnel with the king on the other side. What's happening here? What is happening? Queen continues to come around again. We're going to be pushing time here, but let's see when it prompts us. Maybe it's like, there we go. I was just about to say, maybe it's as a certain building goes down. So as soon as that elixir storage was destroyed, it told us to put the golems in to soak up the damage. Deploy witches to clear the corner buildings. That's exactly what I said there before. Deploy most of your witches to support the golems. It is to support the golems, but it's to take out the buildings. We still have the king, and we still have that other wizard. Deploy the Barbarian King. He's coming into the center of the base for this one. Use Rage Spell on the entrance so that most troops get benefit. Again, just that little bit extra information is very useful. Poison Spell onto the enemy queen. I don't think there has been a one where there's been clan castle troops yet, so that's something that can maybe be added in my opinion, because you're always going to have clan castle troops, and it's important that people know how to take that out. Maybe they could have a separate section or a separate level, so they've got the different town hall levels. Deploy the Barbarian King's ability. They've got the different town hall levels. Maybe they could then have sections at the bottom to actually subcategorize the types of stages of an attack. So you would have kill squad, and then it would have 3 different levels where you just had the kill squad. Maybe it would have funnel, and it would have a couple of different areas where you would funnel different troops. Use the wizard to clean up. So it would show you how to funnel bowlers, funnel for the witches, something like that. Then it would have clan castle troops. It would teach you different methods for taking out different clan castle combinations. I myself might suggest that to Supercell. Let me know if you think that is a good idea down in the comments. Let me know if you're still here. It's pretty awesome when you guys watch the whole video, because again, it really does support the channel. It helps it out massively. We are up to Town Hall 10, and at Town Hall 10, you get the Miner. Miner Mania. So this is going to be a queen charge into miner, assumably. Deploy the archer queen. She should walk counterclockwise around the base. So in comes the queen with the healers to support, and then again, one thing that just popped into my mind, it would be cool to have the coconut loon deploy one balloon to check for air bombs. There is an air defense there and likely a black bomb next to it. You deploy the balloon, it sets off the black bomb to protect the healer. Little things like that could be integrated, but again, it is hard in order to teach a brand new strategy whilst not overcomplicating it. I did like the test wall breaker though. One test wall breaker got ourselves that little bomb up, and then we have the wizard tower. Nearly took out the wall breakers there. Nearly took them out. But the queen now coming into the base. Where are we going to put the miners from? Maybe we put the king at the bottom, create the funnel, miners through. Deploy wizards to clear some of the buildings to make sure that the archer queen doesn't target them. Again, very nice information. Poison spell to slow down the enemy queen, but no clan castle troops. Use rage spell at the entrance to quickly eliminate inferno towers before it roasts your healers. Very interesting, very good information. Again, for the average player, that is something that is definitely going to improve the skill base of the game. So then wizards are doing a nice job keeping the queen coming straight through the base, and then we're going to have the miners assumably clear in from the bottom of the base. But let's just see how far this queen walk goes. Again, you've got to take these tutorials as just a bit of practice. So practicing your queen walk. Potentially, you're not that good at queen walk. This is a pretty good base. Again, not ideal. You're not going to come across this base every time in war, but you don't have to use the troops in the way that it's teaching you in the tutorial. Now, your miners have a clear path around the base. Interesting. So in they come, kind of where I said they would get deployed, but I did think the king would clear this bottom area. Let's see what happens to keep the miners. There we go. Deploy some wizards to the corner in order to keep the miners in the base. As they come around, we then protect the queen. Like I was saying before, remaining wizards here. Maybe we don't have... Did we use the king already? Use the barbarian king. There he is. Keep the miners in the base. That's what it's teaching you here. That is exactly what it's teaching you, and we still have the heal spells to keep the miners alive. What I was going to say, I keep getting distracted. What I was going to say is that if you want to just practice your queen walk, this is one of them levels where you could potentially do that. The queen, you could just walk around the base. You don't have a time limit for this. You don't have to worry about running out of time. So potentially, you just want to get used to how much damage set defenses take on the queen. Again, it's not the most ideal. Probably friendly challenge is the best way to practice. But if you don't have your clanmates on, maybe you don't want to cook up them troops, you just want to fly into this and have the healers and the queen ready, then you can go for it. Let's press that ability, let's use the final heal. It did give us complete free reign of the end here, and we are getting through them, guys. I believe there was one more at Townhall 10. I think there's only one for Townhall 11, which is the Electro Dragon, and then we have Townhall 12, and I've got to be honest, Townhall 12 for the tutorials are my absolute favorite, especially that last one with the island base. It breaks it down so well. But again, I think it would have been a time fail if it was an actual attack. It is just to teach people, and there we go, Miner Mania. Now people know with the miners, you have to deploy them in a group. You've got to create the pathing. You've got to continue to create that funnel to keep them in the base. Very interesting stuff for people to know. Bowling with bats. Again, this is one of my favorites because it teaches the Pecker Bobat. Deploy the Archer Queen to destroy 2 wizard towers to help protect your bats later on. That is awesome information for people to know. Again, the bats, you don't want them hitting the splash damage, and that is what this is teaching. Townhall 10, you unlock the bat spells. So, the first one there, you unlock the miners as a brand new troop. It was all about the miners. There was an actual level just for the miners. Now the bat spells, this is a new spell for Townhall 10 players. This is purely going to teach people how to use that. and I think that's awesome. So as the queen comes in here, again, it would be kind of cool to have little pop-ups here, not something that would slow down the attack. As you see, when there is a pop-up, kind of pauses the attack. Again, that's pretty cool, but I would like to have a little pop-up here where it would say, your queen's health is getting low, however, she is just about to take the archer tower down, no need to deploy a rage, just so people know that. Use a rage spell to boost your archer queen and wall breakers. So in comes that rage spell, boosts the archer queen. There is an air defense now onto the healers, so we need to get in there and take that out, and that is what the wall breakers will do, providing us access to that second wizard tower as well. Now check this out. Use remaining troops to clear remaining wizard towers and multi-inferno tower. Start with the wall wrecker. So in that comes, then we have the peckers and bowlers alongside the king in a second, queen continuing to do a good job down the bottom. There is the barbarian king, then we will have the peckers and the bowlers, and the bats will swoop from one side of the base to the other. Awesome stuff. I love it. I love it. It's kind of like the goblin maps, but completely expanded and really, really in depth, to be honest. They really are. Archer Queen's hit points are getting low, so we press that ability. Now we have the bat spells coming in, all 5 of them flying into the base. And notice how we have freeze spells there as well, but we have taken out all of the splash damage. So use the freeze spells. I guess we're going to use them on this area where there is an expo, the Teslas, and the single target Inferno. Would be kind of cool if it said to you, preferably you want to use these on splash damage defenses. However, you can use them now that they are all down. But again, it's kind of just giving people the information they need to know and not overwhelming it. But check this one out. So many troops left over. The bats have clearly done a good job. And I think as someone that has just unlocked the bat spell and it's completely new to you, that is a good way to learn how to use them. You've learned that you have to take out splash damage before you put them in. You've learned that you need to freeze certain areas and you need to create pathing for it as well. So continuing to do a fantastic job. This is an incredibly long video, guys, but I hope you're sticking with me. We are flying through it. Only 4 more levels to go, and we've had fun, haven't we? Every single one of the tutorial maps completed. Start with the Eagle Artillery. You also need to plan for the enemy Archer Queen. Check out this base, it's kind of cool. Use the jump spell so that your Archer Queen can reach the target. So in comes that jump spell. Deploy Ice Golem to freeze most defensive buildings when it dies. So in that comes, along with the king, and then we are pushing in the queen. Deploy that 1 Archer Queen. I always think that it looks there like you have a level 1 Archer Queen, but what it's telling you is deploy that 1 Archer Queen. So the Ice Golem is the brand new troop you unlock at Townhall 11. So it has taught you there straight away, right out of the gates, that the Ice Golem is perfect for freezing the defenses. We press that king's ability and just take a quick look at the loot on the top left of your screen. 500,000 golden elixir. That is pretty awesome. You want to be completing these levels at least once. I believe that Supercell said there is about 5.5 million golden elixir and quite a bit of dark elixir as well for completing all of these levels. So it's pretty cool. It is pretty good. And then again, you can just turn off the tutorial mode and just freestyle. You wouldn't have to put your king and queen in at the top. You could deploy them at the bottom and try to walk the queen in that way. Whatever you want to do once you exit out of the tutorial. So essentially what that has taught us is a kill squad. We've taken out that top area. Interesting stuff. Now what's it doing? It's not teaching us anything. There we go. Balloons are slow. Use haste spells to make them fast to get multiple targets. There we go with the haste. Then with the lava hounds, 2 here, followed by 16 balloons. In they come. Interesting, it taught you to just kind of sit there and wait. Oh, I forgot the Grand Warden. Use him on flight mode. I would have liked it to have told you that you could switch it, because many people might not have realized flight mode. Or maybe if I tried to deploy him in ground, maybe it would have actually taught us how to change it. In now come them 5 balloons, misses the haste spell, but oh well. Deploy 1 more lava hound. I think that's a bit early on that hound, but let's just see. Let's just see. Rage spells now. We're putting them right in the middle of the base. This is crazy. Use the Grand Warden's ability to make your balloons invulnerable. So there they go. Balloons coming in. Everything getting taken down here. Yeah, I mean, I guess that was needed at the bottom there in order to drive the rest of the balloons into the core, but it didn't really tell you that. That could have been something that... Down at this area, deploy your balloons to drive your main pack into the center of the base. That would have been cool. Use minions to clean up. Now we have cleanup troops, finally, unlike them initial levels. But again, look at how overpowering the attack is. And it's good. I mean, no one's going to have a tutorial where you fail, are they, guys? They're going to have you complete it. So there we go. Lava and more loons are completed. We also have the Electro Dragon. So starting out there, it taught you the Ice Golem and it taught you the Grand Warden. I forgot about the Grand Warden. How awesome is that? At Townhall 11, but you also get Electro Surgery. You get the Electro Dragons, then we just have Townhall 12. This base has severe weakness against Electro Dragons. Deploy 1 to destroy air defense with Chain Lightning. How does it have severe weakness? Well, what you can see is the amazing value to chain, especially round the air defense. Look, you can chain from right the way back here. Again, perfectly designed for you to use the Electro Dragons and how to teach you about them, what their strengths are. Deploy the Archer Queen to complete the funnel. So in comes the Queen. She's going to force that Electro Dragon in, but also create pathing for the Electro Dragons. Look at the chain value onto them final defenses. I mean, they really have overcooked how good this base is for the Electro Dragons. Use Battle Blimp to send Electro Dragon to the core to destroy the Eagle Artillery. Cool, it's teaching us the Electro Dragon clone technique, or the Electron technique. Use a rage to increase attack power. So in that comes, use clone spells to create more Electro Dragons in the core. There we go, some advanced stuff. Do not miss your troops out of that Battle Blimp. Activate the Battle Blimp to deploy the Clan Castle troops inside. I'd kind of like it to say that you're taking out the Queen there as well, because notice how the Archer Queen was next to that, and that was so valuable to take out the... I mean, that again was perfect. This base is perfect for E-Drags. We just took out the Eagle, the Queen, a multi-inferno, nearly the Town Hall, deploy the other Electro Dragons on this side. We can easily chain to that area. Grand Warden on flight mode. Again, Queen... should have taught you about the Queen there. Just that little thing. I think there are tiny little bits that it could flash up here. The King, in order to continue to create the funnel for the E-Drags. Very good information to know. I think there's tiny little things that could be added to make it a little bit clearer, but they really have done a good job on this. Again, I would be throwing a like on my own video, so please do that as well for me. Grand Warden's ability in order to protect them troops as we come through. Perfect chain onto the air defense as well, and there we go. King's ability, use the remaining spells to clean up. So I think we're going to use a rage here, and then we'll haste. I don't know, the haste's a bit useful, useless right now, not useful. The complete opposite of what I wanted to say. That rage was kind of poorly placed as well, but let's just use it to power the Electro Dragons forward as they chain through these final defenses. It's getting close down to the end here, I've got to say. It is getting close. Come on, E-Drags, let's take down this base. I've never had one of the bases not give me the 3-star. It obviously perfectly aligns the base for you to teach you the strategy. So for the E-Drags, again, it's taught people there to use the chain effect to its advantage and how to continue to funnel for them. The E-Drags, you've got to have that funnel for them. You've got to have that chain value, especially onto the air defense. And the Electron, any of you guys that do watch my channel a lot, you will know that that's one of my favorite strategies, so I love that that is in there. In goes the final Archer Tower, down it goes as we complete Electro Surgery and move on to Town Hall 12. Them Electro Dragons finish off. I'm quite looking forward actually to when I've completed this, just going through each and every one of them again, messing around, using the E-drags in different areas of that base in order to find out if I can still get it done in different areas. Bowling with Witches. I love the name. I love the name. Balloons are great for clearing out traps that could hurt your healers. That's exactly what I said earlier on in the video, that I wanted to see that, and there it is. Start the Queen Walk, deploy your healers in the corner. Interesting. Now deploy your Archer Queen in front of the healers. I guess. You guys do that? I do from time to time, to be fair. In comes the Queen. She's taking out that Tesla. She is taking out the Wizard Tower. Boosted Elixir and gold mines there as well. Queen coming around, gets that Wizard Tower. Going to get the air defense here as well. But then in we come with a rage spell. Then we're probably going to cut the funnel off here and press in with the Wall Wrecker. All single target infernos. Let's see if it prompts us on that. And in we go. The Queen. One thing that I've noticed actually, let's continue with this. Deploy giants in the middle and the bottom. So yes, we're cutting off the funnel down the bottom here. Wall Wrecker in order to come in. Grand Warden in order to come in. And the King to continue with that funnel. Witches provide cover for your other troops. Deploy them with your main group. Again, that's because of a single target inferno as well, isn't it? So 5 at the side for the funnel and 10 bowlers in the middle. What I was going to say, I'll tell you in a second, when this finally stops getting me deploying troops, 3 wall breakers to help the King and them troops in. We need to freeze the single target to protect our Wall Wrecker before it goes down. I could have probably froze both of them, but it's prompting me to freeze the second one here as well. 2 rage spells to help push your army through the bottom and the middle. So in they go. We've got many of the bowlers walking around at this point. Jump spell to reach closed compartments. So as we continue, Barbarian hit points are dropping. He's got over half health. Press his ability. Okay, if you want me to. Grand Warden's ability is probably going to be pressed pretty soon here as well. He's on flight mode. He's on flight mode. It should have maybe prompted me to change that. But again, it might not be so... Let's press that ability anyway. It might not be so advanced that it can actually detect what your Grand Warden, maybe what siege you're on. But that would be cool if it did teach you how to change that. Deploy your remaining cleanup troops in order to help out. Right, what can we do here then? We're going down pretty quick, guys. I'm not sure we're going to do this. So we've got a baby dragon... We've got, oh, that's gone down. Yeah, so the first base that we haven't 3-starred. I'm not sure that was our fault. I followed the tutorial. Perfect, guys. Let me know down in the comments. I followed that one to the T. Maybe the Grand Warden not quite being on ground, but I used his ability. That's the first one that didn't get me the 3 stars. So what you would need to do is exit the tutorial, or you could go through it again. But you could exit it and then do whatever you wanted to take down the base. 74%! That's the first one. The Townhall 12s, I think we're going to get this done as well. I mean, it still teaches you that... It is Townhall 12. It still teaches you that strategy, pressing in with the witches. What I was going to say in that video, in that last attack there, before we start this one, I'll mention it. What it hasn't really taught us is the new defenses. So at Town Hall 11, the Eagle Artillery, it didn't really mention it that much. I'd like a little bit more emphasis on the defenses. I'd like some few other levels in order to teach you different areas, funneling, taking out the clan castle, kill squads, things like that. And I'd also like just a little bit more information here and there. Let me know what you guys think. Deploy your Archer Queen. So here we go with that horrible island base. Many people struggle with these. Snipe the Archer Tower with some balloons. In come 2 balloons. Bat spells to get rid of the Eagle Artillery and Single Inferno. Notice how it only wants us to use 5 at this point, which is very cool. Just taking out that top area. Let's go, guys. In come them bats. Barbarian's King ability is getting low, so we press that, and then we've cleared out this entire top section. We can use the dragons to continue to get this base done. Now the bats are doing a tremendous job in the middle there as well, continuing to take out many of them defenses. Queen still has the ability as we move around, and I think this one would be a time fail as well. Just wait. It's an overpowering attack, but I think it would be a time fail. As the queen comes down, it's going to get us to use the ice golems here in order to tank for the queen. So in come 2 ice golems. That's going to do a good job when they bust open and they can then freeze the entire area. But they protect the queen as she comes through. We're going to get the enemy queen. Then it's just a case of bringing the dragons in because we've created that funnel very successfully. Queen continues to come forward in towards the enemy queen, in towards the enemy king. You don't want the dragons getting one. The queen can attack them back, but they could get caught on the king as well. In steps that queen though, and we're going to have to press that ability in a second. Snipe the archer tower with some loons. Only one needed there. I was going to say, is it going to tell us to press the queen's ability? Because she is going down quick here. Snipe the archer tower with some loons. We need 2 there to snipe that one because it's a little bit deeper into the base. Snipe that archer tower with 3 balloons. Then we have 2 left for this archer tower, assumably. No, we're using the stone slammer. Could have prompted us on maybe putting in 1 loon ahead of the slammer. Now we bring all of the dragons in alongside them 2 other loons. There they go. Now whenever I attack bases like this, Grand Warden on flight mode, whenever I attack bases like this, I attack straight into the town hall. I find that the dragons struggle with the Giga Tesla unless you take it down quick. We have a rage spell in order to get that in. Power the dragons forward through this area. Air defense is going to go down. Slammer getting fantastic value at the top. Then we have bat spells on the remaining wizard tower. Interesting, we need to freeze that in order to protect it. Now it's prompting us to freeze, but I think we lost a couple of bats there, to be fair. Would have been nice to freeze that beforehand. Use the remaining freeze and the Grand Warden's ability. So we're going to freeze here. Where is our Grand Warden? Let's press his ability now. We've got lots of bats within that area, and this is going to be overwhelming as we have the loons come in, the bats on the Giga Tesla. All of the Giga Tesla prongs were actually used onto the dragons there, so I think the bats were surviving for the most part, and I like how it taught us how to break down the island base into different segments. Let me know, we're coming to the end of the video, let me know what you want to see from the tutorials. I've already mentioned what mine were, the different sections of an attack, a little bit more information here and there, and then the defenses as well, plus some internet bases, maybe from the World Championships, the final attack, the one that gets that team into the final itself. Maybe take that base, put it in here and have them break it down. But that is your brand new tutorial mode, the practice. Once you've completed it, you can go back in and you can do any of the levels without the tutorial on. As a bonus, guys, as a bonus, let's do this again. This one level that we didn't complete, I don't know how. Balloons are great for clearing out the traps that could hurt your healers, so let's put a balloon in. Let's see if we can get this done. I can't believe we didn't do it. Start your queen walk with healers. In come the healers, in comes the queen in order to clear that area out. Let's see, we must have, the ballers walking must have been the issue, so hopefully we can, I don't know, maybe I deployed when it got us to deploy the it got us to deploy 15 ballers, I remember. 10 in the middle and 5 down the bottom. What I will do this time is I'll deploy the 5 first, followed by the 10 in the middle, which will hopefully create that funnel a little bit better. So the queen is coming through this side very successfully. Now we're getting into this area. Use the Archer Queen's ability. Now we have, let's put 2 giants, 3 there. I'm going to do this very carefully. Wall Wrecker coming in. Grand Warden. Let's put him on ground, guys. That's going to help, definitely. Followed by the King. When it gets us to deploy the ballers. So we've got 3 witches in the middle. Come on, where's them ballers? Right, let's get them 5 ballers in first. Let's give that just a quick second in order to, you know, it's very slow motion here, which is kind of cool. But I'm going to deploy them other 10 ballers to hopefully go into the center. Wall breakers to open up that area. Come on. open that up, and then I know I can freeze both Infernos here. Is it going to let me? Yes, it is. So we froze both of them. We don't then have to use that other freeze quite. Oh, it's gonna want us to. I don't think I can progress until we use that. So we're going to have to freeze that area anyway. Then we have the ridge. One in the middle, one down here. Come on, bowlers, get into the middle. We've now got a good pack of bowlers into the middle. Jump spell in that area. This is looking better this time. This is looking better. Use the Barbarian King's hit points are dropping. Use the ability. Grand Warden's ability's got to be used at the Giga Bomb here as well to protect your troops when they need it. Notice how that was right on the Giga Bomb as well, so that was much better. This is looking a lot better moving through as we get to the final parts of it. Then we have the cleanup troops, don't we? So let's put a couple of loons there. The air defense there. We could put a baby dragon here, followed by... Let's get wizards on this side. Wall breakers to potentially help. I don't think it's going to do much, guys, but we've got much more strength coming through the base this time. Let's get a wizard here in order to try and back up them bowlers as we come through. And we have indeed got it done this time overwhelmingly. So the bowlers basically walked last time and it wrecked the attack. So I thought we would come back in, show you that the tutorial works, and now it's overwhelming. So maybe they need to tweak this very slightly, get them to deploy, get people to deploy 5 bowlers there first before they put all 10 at the other side to ensure the bowlers go through the base. That wraps it up for this one, guys. Definitely, we're done wrapping it up for this video. You want to see that video with the Archer Queen versus Dragon's Lair? I will link it right there for you. But until next time, peace out.